I'm exceptionally disappointed right now. I'm not joking. More so than the Canadian Liberal bit, if
Oh,
you
okay.
can believe that. And I'm being serious, you know? I gotta say, it is incredibly embarrassing um, being bar none the most controversial online left-leaning content creator. I mean, it's not even close. I think we've well surpassed Contra with this latest drama.
Um, feedback. I'm curious what I'm curious what you think of the statement, Sitch.
That he's more I mean, I guess. I don't know. Is he more controversial than Hassan?
This statement seems delusional to me.
Mhm.
Surpassing ContraPoints. ContraPoints has been in the New York Times. Every
No, no,
single
no, no,
person in
no.
the
He
mainstream
said
media.
no. He said in terms of being like the most controversial leftist
Okay.
YouTuber,
Well, that
which maybe I don't know.
okay.
Clearly, you know, I mean, we get news articles written about our shenanigans now easily, and have community which will hand wring over the mildest. I mean, seriously, women should shut up. That's the thing that send you guys into an apoplectic fit of, oh, what about the optics, you know? Like, it's not even as edgy as a
This is so insane to me. Okay, you have you have all these woke assholes who have been pushing, political correctness, social justice activism, all this woke stuff, who are so quick to label anyone that opposes anything they say as a bigot. And yet they think that they're so above it all, the ego here, that he thinks he's so above it all that he can use all these weapons, calling all these people misogynist, sexist, racist, homophobes, transphobes, that he can then go out and just say, women need to shut up. And then be, shocked Pikachu face when his community is like, whoa, what the fuck, Vaush? I thought this was against everything we stood for.
Yeah. Yeah. No. The and also the fact that other people would use the same weapons he's devised on him.
Right.
Of
Right.
course they will.
I know. I know.
Chapo bit. Like, can you just imagine, like, Felix from Chapo reading over, like, a J.K. Rowling tweet and going, yeah, looking at this has just convinced me that actually all women are stupid. Cis women, trans women, I don't care, you know. Like, Chapo would go that. Do you think their community would hand wring over this? Not even close. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't even pay any attention. And if J.K. Rowling, for some reason, you know, clipped that and then like bitched about it, do you think the Chapo community would embolden her crybullying by supporting her and overstating the harm of that joke? No. If you guys care about optics so much, then what you need to realize is that the most optically effective thing you guys could have done in that situation was to laugh at Rowling for being a triggered liberal. You realize the majority of her support is from
So this triggers me.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
it's completely wrong. But
He's doing the same thing that the Pro Felicity guy is doing, that disgusts me on a level that I can't even
God,
verbalize.
we have to talk to him, especially if you're getting disgusted. We have to talk to him.
Like these fucking Marxist pieces of shit who have been pushing, the cultural neo-Marxian nonsense for the last 4 or 5 years or 6 years publicly. And then they have the gall to turn around and say, oh, wokeness is really the libs. It's all these liberals with their wokeness. Like, no, fuck you. It's this neo-Marxian fucking infiltration into the left that all wokeness is based around. And then they have the gall to turn around and blame the libs for that.
Yeah.
You made this bed, Vaush. Your fucking dog shit community that you're part of, this leftist Marxist community that you're part of, is the source of all the wokeness that we're experiencing right now. You don't get to throw the blame at the libtards now. And they all do this. They all do this fucking bullshit where they're like, oh, they created the Frankenstein monster of wokeness. And now that it's out of control and just ravaging across the countryside and hurting them, they're like, oh, I didn't make this.
Yeah. They're the ones that weaponize sensitivity.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the ones that weaponize sensitivity. They're the ones that start all the cancellation nonsense.
Yes. Yeah.
You know the meme comic where the person's like, I made this. and then the other person takes it and they say, I made this. It's like the reverse of that. The woke people made the sensitivity culture. They made the wokeness culture. And now they're like, oh, it was these other people that made it.
They're handing it to Sitch and saying, you made this.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
I didn't make
What are
this.
you talking about?
We've been fighting against this for a year.
Oh my God.
You made this.
You fucking made this, Vaush. You made your bed. And now you're going to sleep in it.
Lie on down.
Conservatives, right? All you do by pearl clutching and going, oh, well, this sexism is a bad way of providing our opinion.
I never got to make my point. I mean, optically, first of all, Vaush is the one that's completely trained his lapdogs that optics are the only thing that matters, right?
Yeah.
Like that is the message of his community. Optics,
Yes.
like against everything else. Optically, to have a bunch of your community chiming in about how, you know, she's a terrible person and just signal boosting your terrible message is not going to work out optically. That's not going to look good. That's going to make her point doubly. That's going to make her point exponentially. Okay.
Right. And
so
that's
the
what
idea
people
that,
were saying.
right. So the idea that Vaush thinks that optically everybody following him into this unwinnable battle is the thing to do. It's insane here. Like, obviously he doesn't understand the optics, how the optics work. His audience, you know, they'll believe anything Vaush says within limits. Obviously they're like, okay, Vaush, you kind of jumped the shark here. This is optically not good. And how don't you see it?
Well, I think he does understand that the optics are so bad here, which is why he's so upset. But but like Putin, there's no exit strategy for that.
Yes.
Okay?
Oh, definitely.
He can't apologize because then he'll look weak. So his only option is to just keep doubling down, but then he just looks like a moron.
Yeah.
So
is seed ground to them. It would be like during Gamergate, like every time Anita Sarkeesian came out with a point that wasn't like great, you'd be like, you know, oh, well, that wasn't a great point from Anita Sarkeesian, and I don't know right now. Like while she's getting death threats, you know? If you care about optics, you would understand.
So basically, support me. I'm getting death threats.
Yes,
the message here. For those of you who don't understand, Vaush is putting himself in the Anita Sarkeesian role here.
Right.
He is the one, in fact, getting death threats.
Right.
But he is making a slight admission here. He's saying that this wasn't the best point or argument, or, I mean, that's a concession.
That is, though. I would say it's a bad comparison because it's not like he had a take that he was serious about that people didn't like. It was him making a misogynistic joke.
Yes, totally.
And so it would be like if Anita Sarkeesian, who has been promoting all this feminism and video games crap for years, then tweets out like, oh, you know, all men suck. I wish they'd all die or something, you know. And you'd be like, whoa, mask off there, lady. Like,
wouldn't it be more like if she tweeted out something like, J.K. Rowling is a whore? Because that would be like so off message for her.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
right. And she made if Anita Sarkeesian made some sexist against women joke or something, and you'd be like, whoa, what's going on here? Kind of diverts from your message of your activism.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, what a feminist you are, calling some other woman a whore. Kind of makes it seem like you're not really serious about the feminism.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Vaush is a hardcore feminist, right?
I mean, he claims he is.
He pitches himself as a hardcore feminist, right?
Does a hardcore feminist tweet out that women be quieter and start apologizing challenge? I don't know.
I
don't know, Adam.
Seems something like A-Team might tweet out, but
it does.
Not at J.K. Rowling, though. J.K. Rowling is, I mean, I consider her a serious person.
Right.
It's funny that they don't. I guess they don't comprehend the arguments that she's making.
Because she has a mildly milquetoast take on trans people, and anything but complete capitulation is, you know, you are the enemy, basically.
Right.
And I think they're right in that they understand, since their ideology, since the woke ideology and the cultural neo-Marxist ideology is so backwards and oppressive, that it's almost like if any cracks start to form, they know that the dam will quickly break.
Mhm.
And so it's like when you have someone like J.K. Rowling who just questions the narrative a little bit, or someone like Dave Chappelle who questions the narrative a little bit, all these little cracks make people more comfortable to call out the bullshit. And I think they're aware that if people are comfortable disagreeing, like no one's going to buy into any of this stuff. That
So
this is an ideology built on basically fear of social pressure.